Welcome to Looking Within, a podcast for the spiritual explorer in each of us. I'm Julie. I love to explore the inner life using contemplative practices, and I love to help others to do the same. In our time together, I hope you gain a sense of hope, meaning, joy, and love. As a Christian spiritual explorer, I hope to offer some thoughts to help you see God's presence and activity in ever-expanding ways. As you listen, ponder, and experience the divine, feel free to use the spiritual perspective you are most comfortable with in our practice today. Now, let's begin. This week, 2019, draws to a close. It's hard to believe that yet another Christmas season has been completed and a new year lies before us, filled with both uncertainties and fresh possibilities. As our digital art specialist, Nicole Osterhout, and I sit in the recording studio today, we're noting that this is our 26th episode of Looking Within. It's been fabulous to travel with you these past 6 months, and we look forward to being with you each week as we move forward into the new year. During the past month, we've explored the Advent wreath and the 4 words assigned to each Advent candle, words that remind us of the gifts brought into our life by the presence of Christ. The words hope, joy, peace, and love pretty much sum up the core of what we'd wish for in life, don't they? At times we catch momentary glimpses in our hearts and minds of these gifts given to us on our journey. At other times, we enjoy prolonged and full-bodied experiences of them. And still at other times, we lament the complete lack of 1, 2, or all of these 4 gifts for life's journey. Having recently read the Christmas cards and letters of family and friends, I know that hope, joy, peace, and love, or the absence of these, were apparent in people's stories from the past year. For this final episode of 2019, I'd like to use one of the 4 Advent words for our focus today. I think it's a perfect fit for all of us as we step out of one year and into the next. And that word is hope. The wisemen in the Christmas story have much to teach us about hope, I think. They were on a long journey, undoubtedly filled with many unknowns and anxious moments. They must have lost hope more than once. But they watched, they waited, they checked their maps of the land and stars, they listened for God, and God showed up, bringing a lesson or a surprise or the affirmation of a next step on their journey. I'm thinking they encountered repeated opportunities to live by faith and with hope, expecting God to show up for them, especially in their moments of greatest need. Their journey sounds remarkably like ours, doesn't it? We are walking a path of undetermined length and a path that often contains some degree of fear and darkness. And like the wise men, we're called to accept, embrace, even befriend every part of our life experience. This isn't easy to do. We are prone to hesitation when it comes to bringing and keeping something close that isn't appealing. We want to ignore it, distract ourselves from it, or solve it quickly on our own. But the trusting persistence of the wise men is a model for us. When we wait, watch, and expect God to show up with a lesson, a surprise, or a next step to take, we release our lack of hope to God and hold on to God's hope instead. God's hope means that our life is held in good and divine hands, even though we can't see the outcome of things. As the new year begins this week, is there something in your life where you would welcome a greater sense of hope? Let's think about that during our quiet moments together. In this quiet space and time, I'd invite you to gently close your eyes. I'll sound the Tibetan singing bowl, which will call you to look within. As you're listening to the bowl's reverberations, take 3 deep breaths. Then let your breathing return to normal whenever you'd like. Hear the sound of the bowl now. Let it center you. Let it remind you that God is here with you. I'd invite you to think of an issue or a struggle that might be weighing on your mind and heart, causing you to feel a lack of hope. Notice your thoughts, feelings, and body sensations associated with this. Bring these in close and welcome all that you're experiencing. Sometimes, as we watch our lack of hope, rather than ignoring or quickly solving it ourselves, something happens. God shows up with a lesson, a surprise, maybe a next step to take. Wait now, watch, and expect God to show up with a renewed sense of hope. I'll be back with you in about 3 minutes. I'd invite you now to take a few deep breaths, in and out, in and out. Let these breaths fill you with strength and energy. Hear me sound the Tibetan singing bowl, and as the sound of the bowl reverberates and slowly dies away, you can gently open your eyes, remaining still for a moment longer. Like the wise men, we're on a journey of many steps and of many unknowns and uncertainties. Though we may often shy away from acknowledging and embracing our fears and darkness, may you truly befriend your most difficult moments as you expect and count on God's light to shine brightest in those times when you lack hope. Don't ignore your darkness and confusion. Don't attempt to solve it on your own. But wait, watch, and expect God to show up. It is in releasing our darkest moments to God that we experience a feeling of calmness, of acceptance and serenity, knowing that our life is in good hands, knowing that we'll be lovingly tended and guided all along the way. Thank you for being on the journey with me during these past 6 months. It's been my honor and pleasure to travel with you, and I'm excited to step into the new year with you. God's hope, joy, peace, and love be with you always. I just want to extend a special invitation to you if you live in the Rochester, Minnesota area. I'll be guiding a full-day retreat entitled Loving the Life You Have on Saturday, January 18th from 9 to 3 at Assisi Heights Spirituality Center in Rochester. We'll have some helpful content, wonderful time in small and large groups, plus guided alone time. You can register on the Gloria Day website at gloria-day.com/contemplative-practices. Give yourself a New Year's gift of a day of retreat. I'd love to see you there, and it would be so great to meet you in person. Thanks for listening today, and we'll see you next time.